Welcome back to the Giant Bomb at Night, live from SGF Live. We are going to be hanging out tonight from the Warframe Villa. Thanks for coming in. I'm sorry I did not finish off Dan Riker. We'll get him next time, everybody. He's not doing fine, though, so at least take that to heart. I appreciate that we can all be happy about that. I got a great couch here with me. Let's get right to it. Imran Khan, buddy, how you doing?
Hello, how's it going?
It's going pretty good. What you been up to, man?
Almost dying. That was fun.
Yeah, how'd that go? Yeah.
Homie, it kind of sucks.
Yeah, I bet.
Otherwise, being here at SGF and enjoying the unseasonable cold of LA.
Yeah, it's wild, right?
Yeah.
We got this door open. It feels nice right now, but it's weird.
Yeah, I'm alarmed by it.
Yes, it's like strange. I feel like a storm's going to come in and wash us all away, wash away all the gamers, take care of us once and for all.
Honestly, we were due for a cleansing.
Yeah, absolutely. Bailey Meyers, I'm so happy you're here.
I was just thinking the words Sodom and Gomorrah and like completely spaced out.
This is why we invite you.
That would be a great movie title, actually.
Yep, there it is.
Anyway, great to be here. I love the couch. It's nice.
You're saying this is a good area for you? You got a favorite bar around here?
Yeah, I love this spot. This is a part of town that I used to live in. It's a great neighborhood for getting your face blasted off with a popper.
We wouldn't have it any other way.
I can't believe you're trying to split the pot fewer ways in such a like violent
listen,
and public
if
spectacle.
I'm going to have fewer owners, I want to go out with like a bang and make sure like everyone really understands what happened there.
Sure, you know, they don't always mean that literally.
I don't want to, yeah.
But no one's ever been convicted for killing someone with confetti.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, legally, he's on solid ground.
No judge in the
Sure.
land would convict me, absolutely.
No, they'll watch. Just show the footage. Show the tape.
I saw the clip. It's the funniest fucking thing I've ever seen. It's so funny.
Please just like do like an in memoriam, like
Yes,
it fades to
absolutely.
black.
To
And,
those we've lost this year.
Tyler Gardner. Tyler, buddy, how you doing?
Good to be out here, yeah.
Cleveland's own.
Yeah, another Cleveland native.
Yeah,
we got a
man.
rep here. We got two in the room, which is good. But
Yeah, usually pretty rare, so I'm glad.
yeah,
we
I
can
know.
make
It's
that
like the first time ever that two Cleveland people have been in LA at the
Yeah,
same time.
exactly.
Yeah. But no, fun to be out here. Like, love seeing everybody. It's the one time a year we all get to do this.
Yeah,
and
it used to be more frequent, and
Yeah.
even this has kind of shrunk a little bit, which is it's fine. I think there's plenty of still reasons to come out here, but yeah, you're working the show. You like
Yeah,
represent
I'll be
some
out
devs.
the weekend at Playdays. Can't say for what quite yet. Of
course.
But yeah, and then today at the big show, we had a few of our clients do some stuff out there with Mio from Focus. Got a nice trailer, and then Game Mill had Nicktoons and the Dice of Destiny, which got revealed
Right, yeah, we
today,
saw that.
and
That was cool.
Got some talent out there, which was fun. Yeah.
Very cool.
I forgot to bring my Make Nicktoons Great Again hat.
Yeah, that's a fun thing to do. Mike Vayatta, how you doing, bud?
Yeah, good. All right. Trying to stay awake. Came in yesterday, so in about 12 hours off from a time zone perspective.
I did the thing. So I got an email saying that your name started with a V. It actually starts with a K. Mike
Yeah, that's right.
Vayatta?
Yeah, that's also me.
Yeah,
That's
there we
my
go.
second
Both are
name,
there.
but
I'm like, I was like, oh, I'll tell myself not to say that. So of course, that's what I said. But no, I'm glad you're here, bud.
Yeah, thanks for having me. A lot of fun.
Yeah, you guys are like showing off the game at FBC Firebreak.
Yeah, absolutely. So yeah, we're shipping in like a little less than 2 weeks, and somehow I'm sitting here instead of actually doing any work. But yeah. So we're showing it off at Playdays. So we got a booth over there.
That's the
Booth?
plan.
I don't know. What do you call it? Thing with couch, television,
Kiosk.
kiosk. Oh, that sounds.
Wait
sounds
station.
fat.
Cloud area for sure.
Yeah.
Yep.
Exactly.
The Chugs himself, Adam Cole, bud. How you doing?
Hello, I'm doing awesome.
Yeah.
This is my first Summer Games Fest weekend, which is amazing.
Yeah.
I've been super busy with traveling, been streaming a lot, so I couldn't be happier. Yeah, thanks for having me.
Let's get into it. Like, what was your expectation for a Summer Game Fest? And like, obviously, like, you haven't been to the show yet, or are you planning to go to Summer Game Fest, like, proper?
Oh yeah. Yep. So I was there at the live showcase, and then also plan on being there for the Playdays as well, so I'm excited.
How did the being in there for the show live up to what you were expecting?
It was unreal because again, every year I've streamed it or watched it live, and again, the excitement, you can feel it in the room from watching it on the television, but being there live, it's so much better. Again, with all the awesome reveals and the hype around these games coming out and everyone being excited, I just like being in rooms with like-minded people who are excited about games. So this is awesome.
Was Mads Mikkelsen as handsome as he looks?
Handsomer.
Wow, okay.
Looking dashing, for sure. You are someone that streams a lot. So when you come here and you do it in person, like, are you thinking about your streaming community at all? Be like, oh, I wish I could be streaming this, but it's awesome to be here. How are you thinking about it?
Absolutely. My last stream was like the day before I left to come here to LA, and I like to stream as much as possible. I will say they are like the best, most understanding community. So instead of them being like, oh my God, you're not going to be able to stream for 4 or 5 days, they're excited for me.
Yeah, they
because
just
know
want
how
you to do
much it
cool
means
stuff,
to me.
right? Yeah.
Yeah, so just an amazing community. I do miss them though.
Of course.
I do miss them.
Yeah. Any games stick out to you from SGF Live?
Oh my God, so many. Of course, Resident Evil 9,
Yeah,
that
that's
announcement
great.
was incredible. And I will say, I had a gut feeling when about 30 minutes before with the 30th anniversary video, when he mentioned, you're going to get some news in the blink of an eye.
Yeah,
I'm
like-
like, they are ending
That
this
stuck out
show
to me.
with Resident Evil 9.
Wait, what was the work in there? They were
Yes.
gimmicking it, right? Like, why do it that
Right,
way?
it wasn't very soon.
Yeah.
The blink of an eye is very quick. So I was like, oh man. But I thought too, the trailer was so amazing how in the first half, I wasn't sure. Like I was hoping it was going to
same.
be Resident Evil, but it was such a different vibe than the other Resident Evil games. So that one was big. I think the drop of the Liza P DLC had me over the moon. Absolutely love Liza P. That's like my favorite non-FromSoft Souls-like. So really, really good. I think Mortal Shell 2 looked really incredible.
Surprisingly good.
Yeah, I didn't play the first one, but this second one looks awesome. So a lot of games to be excited about, no matter what you're into.
Yeah, that's a lot of that stuff really was surprising. There was a block there early on where a lot of the games did look like they were inspired by FromSoft.
Big time.
But none of them looked bad. They all they have their place kind of. So I was like, yeah, this is a pretty good show. And then they ended really strong. When we were watching it, that Resident Evil trailer, our dearly departed Dan Reichert was like, yeah, this looks like the Resident Evil engine. I'm like, they said it wouldn't be. But in my head, I was still that blink of an eye was ringing there.
You look at their hair and it's like, oh, that's Resident Evil.
Exactly.
Yeah, it's the RE engine. Yeah, absolutely. Yep. Imran, how have things been going other than almost dying?
You know what? Better than you would think.
Yeah.
Like, not to get too grim on this very light comedy show.
We can do whatever we want on this show. It's capable of killing people. It's capable of talking to people who almost died. We could do anything here.
You learn to appreciate shit.
You want to tell people kind of like what happened a little? Because maybe not everyone's aware.
About 6 months ago, I wrote a thing about it if people want to read that, but I had a stroke, paralyzed half my body. I am 90% recovered, so hooray. Did not think I was going to be able to come here, but I am. I also, within that 6 months, worked for VentureBeat, got laid off from VentureBeat. VentureBeat spun off without telling me, which is, gotta yell at Mike Minotti about that.
Oh yeah, yeah, beat him up actually. Yeah,
he handed me this wristband though, so I can't.
that's right. He did let you into the party, so yeah, for sure.
But beyond that, it's just been a cavalcade of recovering, getting better, and playing video games.
How are you feeling about working in the video game space? You've done a lot of different jobs. You've covered games. You've worked on the media or actual making game side. Covering games from or representing them from a PR side. How are you feeling about it right now in terms of prospects, things like that?
Oh, it sucks.
Yeah, it's grim, huh?
It's real fucking bad out there.
It's grim.
We're entering a fun little contraction phase where there's less game journalists, which means there's less PR because who are they going to contact? And that's going to contract to other stuff too. So, again, not to get too grim, it's very funny that Jeff Keighley was like going out there today saying this is made by like 8 people. It's like, yeah, that's what a dev team looks like now.
Mm-hmm. Right, because like a team much bigger than that, how much sense can it make? It's like a pretty big risk to have a team that's 200 people these days. There's a handful of studios, handful of publishers that can make that make sense, right? So even when you look at that side of things, it's not like they've got it figured out. No one seems to have this whole thing figured out, even though people seem to still really want video games, right?
I also suspect that he saw a lot of people talking about Expedition 33, now had 30 developers or whatever, which is not true, but also true, but you know.
It's definitely not a Ubisoft team.
Yeah. Then he just went like, we're gonna mention that for every game. That's the header. Is this game only has?
I think it also positions it so it's like, listen, we don't have the biggest games ever, and they had Resident Evil 9, but a lot of the other games weren't the biggest names. And the way you sort of say that, it's like, no, we are gonna tell you about stuff you haven't heard about before, or maybe you've heard about but haven't seen, and now we have your attention. Let's show it off. It's a good way of sort of angling it to make it feel like this is still something really important, which I'm okay with. I thought the show was really good.
Also, I think Microsoft should do the same thing.
Yes.
They should say, like, this was made by only 4,000 people. We're only going
to lay off 2,000 of them, don't worry. Yeah.
This is only half a GTA.
Yep. Mm-hmm. Billy Meyers, how are you doing?
I'm pretty good. I don't work in video games anymore, so I don't know what anyone's talking about.
I like to say this thing like I'm not famous anymore kind of thing.
Just a former games journalist.
You're a live streamer. Come on, that's the only job that's left. Come on.
Yeah, no, I moved into, this was a joke I already made. I'm going to confess to that right now, but I thought that it would be cool to move into a space that's even less well-funded than video games. So now I'm mostly doing like tabletop shit.
Fun. Yeah. Yep.
But I'm Wizards of the Coast is going to be at Summer Game Fest, and so am I.
Yeah, I think we're gonna have some from Wizards on here pretty soon. So yeah.
Oh, that's
maybe-
exciting. Maybe I know them.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah, I got really into Magic the Gathering. Like, it's stupid.
Yeah, like recently.
Yes, like February.
How does that happen?
Well, I was dating someone at the time who gifted me a commander deck of cute
bad
little
person.
raccoons. Yeah, and the relationship ended, but the Magic cards stayed. So
That's beautiful, actually.
yeah, it's nice. I got to keep something from there.
You're based here, so when we all fly into town, what are you thinking? Like, what are you expecting from all of
I
us
mean,
Chucklefucks?
I'm thinking. I hope you guys know that Sunday is Hollywood Pride, and it's going to be hard to get out of this neighborhood.
Oh, I didn't know that, but that's fine. Whatever. No reason to leave. They'll be fine. Oh, is there going to be like a parade at my front door? Mm-hmm. I'll join it. Good deal. Tyler, so when you are looking at all these events that are happening and you are working with the developers and deciding like, hey, what's the best use of our resources, how does that conversation usually go?
Yeah, I mean, that's a tough question, but like SGF is like, it's the big one, right?
It is still the big one,
Everybody's
right?
here, like, it's, we had that window for a few years where like everything was spread out, right? Like you had all these small little events and like, there's still a lot of that for sure. Mm-hmm. But like, I think he's done a pretty good job of like communicating what to pay attention to, right? Like you have the big one, but you also have all these smaller events like attached to it. There's the Southeast Asian Game Showcase, there's Day of the Devs, there's the Mix offsite. There's all these things like that culminate at the same time that I think does help a lot of indie devs that wouldn't be getting attention otherwise, right? Like, especially, I was surprised some of the things today. Like you mentioned that 8-person, I'm not gonna remember the name of it, but the Indonesian dev team.
I remember the number, but
looked
not
great.
the name.
Yeah, it looked great. Like that was super cool and like the kind of thing I didn't necessarily expect to see in a giant show with Resident Evil 9, right? So like, and Project Century and all these big IP that like.
God, that looked good.
Yeah, Project Century. But yeah, that one looked really cool to me. It's just like an area of the world that we're not hearing a lot of games come from, like publicly usually on like such a big stage. So that was really awesome.
It does seem like Summer Game Fest still can be that thing where it has a gravitational pull and has these other shows that can kind of orbit around it. And it seems like they're mostly viable. I guess not every year do we get the same one. So maybe one year one pops off and then they don't come back again the next year necessarily.
They'll delay,
but it's like a lot of the same people do seem to be involved. So it seems like a decent way to kind of keep everyone's attention. Like enough people are watching Summer Game Fest live, right, to justify a lot of stuff, right?
I'm sure those numbers for this year are crazier than last year and crazier than the year. They always go up, but like, yeah, it's nice to have a time of the year where people are really tuned in. Because when it's not, then people just get lost to the wayside. When
we were talking about this. Are there too many Jeff Keighley shows? He's got 3 now with TGA. He's got Gamescom. He's got this.
It's his birthday. Let him have it.
He's got 3 birthdays a year. How many does he need?
I think they all kind of serve a different purpose, right?
Yeah.
Like SGF is definitely what used to be E3, like filling that time of the year, and then the Gamescom one is like very Gamescom focused, right? Like everything there is in Gamescom. Like it is one of the big shows, but it's also different just in that like it's so centralized to that event. And then obviously Game Awards is kind of its own beast. So, 3 events, we'll take them, right?
Exactly. Yeah, like you have a use for all of them.
Yeah.
Okay. Very cool. Mike, how has it been getting ready to show off the game?
Yeah, pretty crazy, actually, because I typically spend most of my time actually making the game, and so it's been a little bit of a shift and a little bit of feeling like I'm kind of abandoning everybody, like going around and trying to actually show people the game. I don't know, it's a horrible experience. I used to play the game all the time, and now every time I play it, all I see are like every single problem. I just noticed the other day actually that somebody had the word pressurized in the back of a menu somewhere, like in a setting that was spelled with an S instead of a Z, I just had to angrily write the art director over this problem because that's the thing that's going to make this game fail, and this is like where my brain.
Now everybody knows.
Yeah, now everybody knows, and hopefully it'll be fixed. But yeah, I gotta say it's been so funny like listening to you guys and talk about the state of games journalist stuff. I actually used to be a games journalist like 10 years ago. I was the news manager at The Escapist.
Oh sure,
back in the Yahtzee days.
Yeah.
Back then there were layoffs, and it really felt like games journalism was in trouble. And I was like, you know what, I'm gonna get out of here before it explodes and go into a really stable industry where nobody gets laid off, which is actually making games.
And you were wrong. It's going great.
I know. And now it was totally reversed. Oh wait, no, everybody's fine. Yeah, that's right, exactly. So, Yeah, but no, pretty interesting. This is my first like major game shipping, so it's been quite an experience.
Well,
thank you. Save it for 10 days, or 11 days, or 9 days, or whatever it is now. So
You gotta get that nailed down.
Yeah. Somebody knows.
Yeah, that's not his job. His job's to make it.
I
Yeah.
do remember that being the thing back in the NES days of like, we actually have no idea when this game comes
It's
out.
gonna start when it gets there.
It
yeah.
could be
it's
a
ready
week.
when it's ready.
I remember calling Toys R Us every day for like 3 weeks about Simon's Quest.
Oh sure. Oh man.
Mike, what do you think it is that as you get closer to the end there, you're noticing more of those smaller things? Is it just that you've dealt with the bigger problems, or it's just like, if I miss anything, I'm going to drive myself crazy after the game's out?
You know what it is, man? It's like, have you ever like moved house? Like I feel like I've chased
Yes.
my career and moved every 2 years for freaking forever. And you move everything, and at first, like, I always get these boxes, and I'm like, this is living room, this bedroom, it's so organized, and everything just fits really, really well. And you're like, this is going way faster than I thought, and it's wonderful, it's beautiful. And then you end up at the end with this huge shit heap of just completely random stuff that doesn't fit in anything, like a weird blender and like a piece of wood that probably goes to a piece of furniture. It's like, and this mountain just starts like piling up, and it doesn't fit. And all of it has to be kept, and all of it has to be moved, and it's the most stressful freaking moment of any move, and all the other boxes you've done perfectly with, and that's the moment, right? So it's the gigantic shit heap in the middle of the floor.
Sure,
Just like put slashes in front of that so the gamers don't see it when they actually boot up the game? It's like,
No, I mean, as I like to say, it's now all intentional. The minute that it ships, everything was on purpose. It's just that weird, quirky Remedy doing weird, unexpected shit.
but does that give you a lot of cover that you can get away with a lot because of that?
I mean, I don't like to think that, but I
Sure.
know in the back of my head that if we accidentally put pressurized in with the British spelling, somebody somewhere, some super nerd who I will be in love with, will be like, this is just a huge piece of the Remedy connected universe that I've just discovered, and nobody else is on top of this. But, so yeah, let's see.
What is it like at Remedy to like get a game like this made? Like internally, did you have to pitch it? Like, how was it decided that you were going to be leading the game? Like, how does that work?
Dude, it's crazy because it's such a weird game for Remedy, right? It's
Yeah.
like totally being like a weird black sheep in a sense. Actually, when I started, it was super strange because it's so many different firsts. It's like not story focused. It's kind of like dumber maybe than most Remedy games. Like it's online multiplayer. It's all of these things that the studio isn't. So when I started, it felt kind of almost internally like people were like, oh God, what is that? And like I don't want to touch that. And what are we doing? And so forth. And then slowly we kind of built out something that was fun. And I think a lot of people found, oh right, we can just make like fun things that are like just fun, and we don't have to just kind of like loop inside of our brains on an infinite spiral like forever. So yeah, pretty strange actually. In terms of me, I don't know. I just blackmailed Sam Lake, and then
That's the way to do it.
I mean, that's how you do it, really. I mean,
He's got a lot of skeletons in his closet. It's pretty easy.
so many skeletons.
He seems
in
like the
closet.
nicest dude in the biz, but you just know.
Yeah, I will tell you though, legitimately, Sam is just such a nice
So
guy.
nice.
Like for real, he is really nice.
Last time I saw him, it was like last Game Awards, I think, and he was so nice to me, even though I'd been incredibly awkward trying to meet. Like, I don't know how to introduce myself to people. I just came across so awkward. I didn't know how to shut up. And then he saw me the next time. He remembered me, which was unkind. But then he was so nice.
So rude.
And so then afterward, I just keep referring to him as my best friend, Sam Lake. He's just so sweet.
Yeah, the video game industry's best friend, Sam Lake.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
I met him at a Giant Bomb thing a couple years ago, and I introduced myself as an employee of Barley, Nikki's dog. And Jesse Vitelli did the same thing. He did not laugh at either joke. We were both just like, what do we
Work
do?
for this dog, yeah.
Well, of course, Barley should have a staff.
You also have to remember he's like Finnish.
Yep.
Yeah.
And like and the Finns,
up there.
They outlawed humor.
dude, like
quite a bit ago, yeah.
the Finns and humor like is touch and go, man. Like I actually bought a house in Finland. I've been there for like 5 years, and they have this thing where like when you buy a house and you take a loan, you have to technically own the money at some point legally. So they take all of the money that they're going to give you and they put it into your personal bank account, and then they take it right back out. But I didn't realize this, so I woke up one day and I just found like my bank account with a shit ton of money. I was like, this is amazing. Who's made this mistake? And then I talked to the bank about it, and I was like, and they told me all about the law and everything, and I was like, oh man, I was like, if I had known that, I would have just bailed out of the country that night and just taken all of the money. And they looked at me like, Sir. Like, I thought I was going to get arrested.
Have they never heard that joke before?
No, they never heard any jokes. They've never heard any joke.
Okay, it wasn't a joke though.
Well, I mean,
no one's ever thought of that.
to be fair, it was not a joke. Yeah, no, but it's a very it's very stoic. It's very stoic culture. Yeah, I'm also like one of the only like crazy Americans running around the room over there. So it's been interesting.
How is Finland? Like living there?
Actually, I love Finland. I love Finland. I escaped to Finland I was living in Alameda actually, and it was just like the apocalypse, end of the world. I was driving through Oakland, and I saw somebody loot a bookstore, and I was like, this is how bad it's gotten. Like somebody just looted a fucking book, and I think when I saw that, we were like, maybe we should just
get a library card, right? Yeah.
Maybe we should go to a different country. And then we went to the different country, and we're like, oh, COVID's over, and so everything in America's cool, right? We should go back. And so so we're still in Finland
since then.
Yeah, no, everything's fine.
Really
Everything's on fire.
good
We're
at predicting things. That's awesome.
Adam, you said you were traveling a lot. How do you handle gaming when you're traveling?
So thank God for the Switch and the Steam Deck.
Yeah.
That's been the biggest thing.
Carry both of them with you, like in a
Just dual wielding.
So yeah, I wish. I actually rotate each week. So one week it'll be the Switch, and then one week it'll be.
You got a rigid plan.
I do. So on my stream, I have a 5-game cycle where I rotate between 5 games and then start again for a variety in case people are more into FPS or horror games or RPGs. But I do the same in my personal life because there are so many games that I want to beat, and my backlog is just absolutely out of control. So there's a game on my Switch that I'm working on that I'll play one week, and then there's a game on my Steam Deck that I'll play one week. So that's been a lifesaver. I know early on I used to bring one of those Vanguard cases with the screen and my Xbox One in there. I would hook it up to the TV on the road. So yeah, again, thank God for the Steam Deck and Switch.
I have too much ADHD to ever get homie, I forgot I was playing Doom Dark Ages the other day.
I want to say, I'm not critical of this. This is so well organized, but it does sound like you're switching your Steam Deck or divorced and sharing custody of it.
I was going to say, that was literally exactly what my brain was.
Spend the weekends with the boy.
Which one lets you eat junk food and stay up all night?
Oh, I can't answer that on the air. I can't.
I love
Switch is crying with the beer right now. But yeah.
At least you get 2 Christmases. That's nice.
If you're playing a Switch game on a Saturday and it turns to like 12:01, do you have to?
Please say yes.
No, so again, I'll be on the road normally 3 days a
Don't
week.
play Switch while
probably.
you're driving.
Oh, not driving. Yeah, definitely not
that's like
driving.
what these
Maybe on
guys
an
do.
airplane.
That's my
Maybe
thing.
on an airplane. But yeah, it's been fun that way. I've definitely finished more games going about it that way, because I went through a phase like a year ago where, and again, even now with the state of gaming, where it's like a huge title I feel like is releasing like every week.
It's pretty
where I'll start
wild.
playing a game and then a new thing comes out and I'm like, oh, I want to try this, and I wasn't finishing anything. So yeah, 1 week, like I said.
Is finishing games important to you? Because I'm like at a point where I'm still deciding if it matters to me. Because I'm like, I grew up playing NES games where no one was talking about actually beating the games. We're just going to borrow each other's games, play them for a bunch of hours, and like getting to credits was not something we ever really thought about. So I find myself these days, as I'm playing games, still engaging with them that way a lot of the times, and then I feel guilty that I'm not finishing one. I'm like, why? But it's important. I debate it with myself.
It is, yeah. So again, same thing. I used to not be like that, where it wasn't a big deal if I didn't finish a game. But now, especially because I really, really love story-driven games a lot. Right. So I want to be able to see that story the whole way through and hopefully not spoil myself in any capacity as well. I'm not necessarily a 100% completionist or anything like that, but I definitely like to finish the main story of the game.
Yeah.
It's something like only 18% of people finish games or something.
Yeah,
It's
you guys have
crazy.
that
it's that
telemetry.
low. It's crazy low.
Yeah.
Like nobody finishes games.
But also like 45% of people finish Elden Ring of all games.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. That's just a nuts thing to put those two numbers next to each other. Absolutely. You getting the Switch too?
Oh yeah. Actually, a big shout out to my mom.
Yeah.
It arrived this morning.
Shout outs to moms.
Yeah, shout out to you, Mom. She stayed at my house because my Switch 2 arrived this morning.
That's sweet.
Just to make sure. And I got a new puppy, so she's watching
Oh, really?
my puppy. Yes.
What'd you get?
A mini Bernedoodle, and her name is Aloy from Horizon Zero Dawn.
Oh, their favorite game.
Oh, you're such a nerd. I love it.
I'm a massive nerd.
Yeah, that's
Massive
fantastic.
nerd.
Where like you're going right back to traveling, right? You're going right back on the road.
Yeah, so I'm going to be here obviously today and then for the play days tomorrow, but I can't stay Monday, so I'm going to get a red eye Sunday night to get home Monday morning to then be back on the road on Wednesday. And this is kind of nuts, but I'm going to Portland Wednesday morning, wrestling, and then having a red eye from Portland back to Baltimore. Like,
Wait,
no
you're wrestling
hotel.
or you're watching wrestling?
I'm wrestling.
Oh, you're
This,
wrestling.
this,
Okay.
this is TNT champion right here. Yeah.
Yeah, I watched a
wrestler,
match
yeah.
with you on the plane here. I was like, oh yeah, this Adam Cole like Paragon match is really good.
Yeah.
And like, then I saw you come in, I was like, have I not slept? What's happening?
Can you describe for me your favorite move that you do, like I've never seen wrestling before?
Sure. So my favorite move probably is the super kick.
Okay.
And all that is you'll be kind of stand to the side.
good move.
And you just throw a big side kick, but instead of kicking them in the chest, you kick them right in the jaw.
And kill them?
Jaw.
As we've seen, you can hit people in the jaw very hard. They don't die.
Dan is in an ambulance outside.
Good.
They should probably move that at some point, right?
They
That's
are
fine.
not taking their time at all.
They're waiting for Pride.
Yeah.
All
The
right,
parade's
everybody.
gonna
We got to get this segment wrapped up. Hey, Jan, I have a question. Should we go to the bit now, or we should save it until after this next segment?
What bit?
There's a bit we're going to do ping pong, I think, or something like that. We're going to go to the next segment. All right, we're going to take a break. We'll be right back, everybody. Thanks to this couch. We'll have another one here in a few moments. Bye, everybody. See you soon.